Jeff from Two Hacks Garage. Well, we're back on Project Dazed and Confused. That 1971 Chevelle 454 SS. It's a real mean muscle car. We're gonna make it one mean, awesome cruiser, make it reliable. You know what, make it so any day in the summer, you can just take that out, cruise all day long, all night long, and do it reliably. We're doing this project that anybody can do with common hand tools. Just like from the beginning, we talked about that. Yeah, I realize that we do have a lift, but you know what? You can do this with jack stands, race ramps, whatever you so choose. This car was a drag car at one point, turned back to a street car, and it's done a very good job. However, there's always room for improvement. If you look at the starting of this series, we put Flowmaster exhaust on it because it didn't have that nice classic muscle car sound. Those Flowmaster exhaust, it really took care of it. From there, we added an electric Granatelli exhaust cutout kit. If you really want to uncork those, make some noise, have some fun, you can do it. From there, guys, we ended up doing a rear disc brake conversion on this, so it stops just as well as it looks. Did some maintenance items on it, took care of some leaks, you know, just get it ready for next year with new fluids. So where are we at with it now? Holley Sniper EFI 2 kit. Kyle, Eddie, and I have done quite a few of these, and it was the original Sniper kit. We've done one on a GTO, we've done one on another Chevelle, so on and so on. This guy, he wants to cruise this thing. He just wants to hit the key and go, 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 go. Well, guess what, guys? Holley makes the new Sniper EF2 kit that is going to achieve that for us. It's very easy to install. Like I said, common hand tools. Not many wires to it. In fact, we're going to show you as we go through this what you need to do. It's probably going to be a few videos in this series, so just bear with us. But what do we have here? We have the Holley Sniper 2 EFI throttle body setup. We do have the new air cleaner assembly that goes with it, the HyperSpark 2 ignition setup, the HyperPack Sniper EFI coil, Street Fire, new spark plug wires, and of course the Holley Sniper distributor. This is a big block Chevy. Holley has everything you need in stock when you need it, shipped to direct to your door at a very reasonable price. As you can see, we got some Autolite spark plugs. We're going to go through this and tune it up. It's a really cool setup, very easy to do. I haven't done a Holley Sniper 2 yet, so this is going to be the first time doing one. But from what I've read, it's a lot easier than the older one, and it takes care of some of the issues that they had with the older one. Not everyone experienced, but when they did pop up, you know what? You had to do a little bit of troubleshooting. This is supposed to be a pretty good setup. We're going to find out because we want this muscle car to cruise reliably just as good as it looks. So when spring comes around, because it's dead of winter right now, take this car out, cruise all day, all night long, all day long, and do it in style. So with that, guys, we're going to show you what we got going on right now and what we're working with so you kind of get an idea of what we got up against us. See you in a few. All right, so this is what we got working with here. It is a 454 Chevrolet big block. As you can see, it still has some of the stuff in there from the old drag racing days. It's got fuel lines running to the back. By the way, the fuel system in the back is a modified factory fuel tank. But you can see all these lines here. That's all going to come out. It does have MSD ignition, which is a really good ignition setup, but we're going to change that to the HyperSpark setup, which it correlates with this to the Holley EFI 2 kit. It's a really good package. But you can see here, it's got an older 750 double pumper on it, and we're going to remove that because the new Holley throttle body is going to sit on there, and it's actually got good linkage, so we're going to use a lot of that. It's not going to be too hard. These things just take time. But so what we need to do, kind of the first step is, we need to start removing all the stuff off here that we're not going to need, including the carburetor, all the old fuel system part. We'll leave some of the lines in place, remove the old ignition, get the old distributor out at some point. But for right now, we're going to work on the fuel part and go from there. All right, so as you can see, we went ahead and did some unboxing, and it's got all kinds of goodies with it. There's a lot that looks like it's here, but it's actually not once you start getting into it. You got all your different fittings, you got your throttle body, wiring, your coil, your computer, distribution block, distributor, spark plug wires, filter, hose, all that type of stuff. They do a good job at giving you pretty much everything you need to install this. Seeing this isn't a stock fuel system because it was a drag car, we might end up having to get some extra fittings, but Holley carries those too. So you know what, guys? What we're going to do is we're going to start disassembling all the old stuff. Kyle's got the instructions, and he's currently going over what we have to do. Like I said, we've done this a few times, but this is the newer system, which is really nice. And so he's just going over a couple things on that. But what we're going to do is we're going to start getting all the old fuel system off of this so we can get the new system on this. See you in a few. All right, so we got all the old stuff out. We did leave the fuel pressure regulator in with the hose there because we don't know what we're doing with fuel left yet. So we went ahead and left that in there. We got the carburetor off, got the old MSD ignition out. We haven't taken the distributor out yet. We don't want to fall anything that hole. But if you look at the first instructions on this, we're going to go by that, is getting the throttle body on and then tackling the fuel system. So that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to actually follow the instructions, which are easy to follow. You can either have the printed version or you can actually have them online. So we're going to go through, follow the instructions. First step first is to put the throttle body on right here. Get stuff wired up as far as your linkage and vacuum and all that. So we're going to go ahead and start that now. All right, so we got the throttle body on, and the next step you're going to look at there is the fuel system. And as Kyle pointed out to me a little bit ago, we were talking about return and sending. It says in instructions it's either or on the throttle body, but if you look closely over on the firewall, since this was a drag car with a double pumper, it already had a fuel pressure regulator. But after looking at the part number on there, you need to make sure which one you got. That one's a 6 to 9 PSI for carburetor. And the one that we got with the kit for the Holley is for fuel injection. So you want to make sure you got the right one on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount this in the same spot as you see over there on the fender well, and we're going to get the car up in the air, and we're going to start looking at what we need to do to run fuel line, if we can use the existing on here, and get, as you see here, the Holley pump in here along with the right filters, and get a return in there. See you soon.
Back into that.
All right, so we got the car up in the air, and if you see here, it's no longer, factory. It's a factory fuel tank, but it's been modified since it's a drag car. But if you look at what they have going on here, nice zip-tied fuel filter in there, about 7,000 different fittings, going into an older Holley blue. If you see here, that's the line that's going up front, and we're actually going to use that for a return. So we got to find out where we're going to put the return, get that in, get all the old stuff out, and what we're going to end up doing is we're going to make a new inlet line that's going to go from there, and it's going to snake up through the front, up to the throttle body. So yeah, we're going to get rid of this cobbled up mess back here and make it all right. See you in a bit. right, if you look back here, we got rid of all that garbled up stuff. We're still not done with this, but we just got it rerouted right now. We took it from here. It's routed, going down the frame rail. We're going to tighten and button all this up completely once we know there's no leaks in it. But as you can see, it's a whole lot cleaner. And everything's in that frame rail through there. Actually comes down. Like I said, none of this is fashioned in there yet. But you can see we got the pre-filter in there. Goes to the pump. The pump is mounted. And Eddie and Kenny are currently working on putting in the post filter. So he's going to put that in there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to route this line here up to the actual throttle body. So yeah, that'll complete the fuel system. Then all we need is power and ground on this, but yeah, it's pretty clean. We'll get everything nice and buttoned up with it. But yeah, a whole lot better. This is a new and improved fuel pump. Actually pretty nice. Yeah, it's a whole lot better than what it was before. Catch you in a few. All right, so if you look here on the fuel return pressure regulator, that goes back down. We did use the hose that was already here. The inlet hose that we just ran from the fuel pump, it's coming and it's going right there. So as of right now, the fuel system minus the wiring is done. Obviously, we still need to clean it up, get everything in place, clamp down so nothing gets out of the frame rail. But for now, we're not going to do that until we know everything operates correctly. Once it operates correctly, we'll tie it up, we'll make it look clean, and it'll all be done. All right, so that's part one. We're actually going by the instructions on this, and we're using the instructions that have the complete kit. There's different versions of this you can buy. However, we decided to go with everything, including the ignition, the coil, the hyperspark, everything, distributor, throttle body, you name it. So that's going to be part one. What we did was in this one, we disassembled everything, we prepped it, made sure we had all our parts. Kyle looked over the instructions. From there, we disassembled the old stuff. We did leave the distributor in, although we unhooked it all just so stuff doesn't fall down in there. Next step, remove the carburetor, put the throttle body on per the instructions, got that all hooked up, and started running the fuel lines with that. As we said before, this car was previously a drag car, converted back to a street car. So that gave us a few little challenges, but we made it look clean, made it functional. And we're about ready to wrap up the entire fuel system with this, with the wiring, probably in the next episode. Just looking forward, it's going to be like O2 sensor, hooking up ignition, and really taking a deep dive in that ignition. Kyle did notice a lot with this, since his car has this, and we've done it to Eddie's and a few other ones. This kit is a whole lot different. It looks a whole lot cleaner. The wiring looks to be a whole lot easier, but we're going to find that one out in the next episode. So with that, guys, we'll catch you later. See ya.